Hello and welcome, as it is the second day of February 2018. My name is Derek. Everything you do within your own risk, own reward. Disclaimer in the more information box. And let's look at BELA, which happens to be the first ever cryptocurrency that I bought and the first ever cryptocurrency that helped my bankroll increase. This was the first, PivX being the second. I don't own any of this right now. I have the option to, because I can buy it at any time. In fact, I have an interesting option right now. And I'm not lying when I say this. And would you do this given the option? We see the price is 2,126, which recently had a move up to the 18 average of highs near the 3,000 handle, but has recently fallen below the 18 average of lows that recently is today's session. It has made it to the earlier lows seen about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And we now know that if it breaks below this, there's some interesting areas which it can go to, like 1,800, 1,700, 1,500. So let's just assume someone's trying to promote you to buy this. It's like, yeah, do you want to buy this? 21.26. I got a bunch for sale, and there was, at least at the timing of this video, which is a little after 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday. And yeah, okay, well, no, I don't. It's too expensive. And let's just say the person says, okay, how about this? I'll let you buy for a couple hundred Satoshi lower, so about 10% discount, 1,900 in low change. But I mean, I couldn't do that unless I put a caveat in, because you could just sell it. That's an obvious play. But I'll put a rule that you can't trade this, do anything with it for about 48 hours. Then you're free to do whatever you want with it. Of course, you're limited in quantities to what you can get, but you got a few hundred you can put on it, in dollars that is. Would that be something you would want to do? And when I say that option's available to me, I'm not lying. I'll explain that in about 2 minutes, maybe a minute. I'm just going to quickly go over this chart and the reason why I'm not doing it. The market is heading in a downtrend, like in here, like all of the cryptos pretty much were for the latter half of 2018. In fact, this one topped in March. So it's been in a downtrend for the last 3 quarters of the year. But it started to rally well before. When I started trading in the 3rd week of February, there was only really 2 codes that I liked that were bullish. It was this one and Dash. And then the markets flipped over in March. Sort of like they all flipped over in December. We see this beautiful rally that goes from like 800 to like 4 grand. It's like a 5x score. Other ones had 10 and 20 and 100x scores, but a 5x score is definitely tradable. And maybe it's going to just bottom in this area, not go down much, consolidate through time, or even go up soon. It very easily could. But it could also easily gap fill 1,500, 1,300, 1,200, and so on and so forth. So then, I'm very confident that these markets are going to go higher, and probably relatively soon. But I've been thinking for a while, roughly around Valentine's Day, mid-February, the 14th of February, area time frame is when I've been thinking since about Christmas, because after reading the WebBot report, which has been spectacularly better than outstanding as far as my consideration for how well it's done, although some hasn't worked out too well. Recently, Komodo on its January call didn't work out too well, but a lot of the other ones have, including the fact that, like I stated, the crypto general space looks to have some nice gains from sometime into mid to late February onwards into the early summer, late spring, and then doing well after that. But it wouldn't surprise me if the later half or the second third of the year has a decent decline again, but that's later on. So I wouldn't be surprised over the next 2 weeks, 10 days or something like that, if further declines come into play. And I got a lot of buys ready to go within the Bitcoins, because I'm planning on further decline in some of the alternate coins. So this is the bid and ask on 2 different exchanges, and the reason why I can buy it at the low 1900s. The top bid and asks, buy and sell orders, are that from Coin Exchange, and the lower one from that of Poloniex. Okay. The sell orders on coin exchange at 1903 price, Satoshi 427 and change. At 1,906 Satoshi, almost 1,800 and almost 732 at the 1925 handle. That's about 200 basis points lower than the ones on the lower end, which is Poloniex. When you see these smaller exchanges, ways you can take advantage of it. And when I say take advantage of it, find ways of getting profit. Well, the easiest one is buy them cheap and then A, move them to another exchange to sell, or B, just hold them and wait for the prices to go higher than sell. Those are the two ways you can do with it. And also, you can oftentimes get amazing buy and sell orders. And now it's not a time to sell BELA at the upper exchange because, well, the prices are so cheap there in comparison. Maybe you want to put a bid order over the 1801. Maybe you want to go in towards the 1600s, 1400s, 1000. But even more so, when you see the buy orders say something like 0.183 Bitcoin, which is what it says on the top, meaning if you were to buy every single BELA for sale and you had that many to sell, you could take the entire order book and you would get 0.183 Bitcoin. So when you see times when markets go down from and you get that big cattail move when it goes down like 80, 90%, well, if there's a situation where someone just sells like a whole bunch of it down to like 100 because, well, whatever reason, I mean, some reasons are because they don't know about other exchanges, which is odd, or maybe they're restricted on other ones and different reasons, that definitely would make sense, especially with Poloniex, I think, doing away soon with legacy accounts. So I would definitely see where things like that could come into play. And yeah, just something to bring into awareness. If you are interested in that special, as I'm doing it, it's available. I thought about taking it. I suppose if I see the price action start to have a good rally, maybe getting close to 2,300, I would pick up on it. But that would be, I think, the only way I could buy at 1,900, because if I feel if it goes like 2240, 2260, I don't think that's much of enough for me to think it's going to hold for 2 days. And of course at 23, that brings two things. That gives me, one, a 20% differential in price, and it also, which means that it's a little easier to make it a winning trade when I turn it over. But it also says that it might be ready to start a bull run, at least maybe for, well, 2 days. Because when you exchange it from anywhere to Poloniex, Poloniex wants 1,000 confirmations on the transfer, which takes about 48 hours. It's pretty long. So there's nothing you can do but wait. Usually in different codes, if I were to see this and it's a normal like 30 or 40 minute transfer, I would easily buy up every single one up to 1925 in a heartbeat. Transfer it over here. I see that it's pretty weak because it goes down to 9% at 2042. I mean, that's still 120 points over. So I would probably do that if I could. Most codes only takes 30 minutes to an hour to transfer, and some may take a couple hours. But this is odd how on this it takes quite a significant amount of time to transfer. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.